Brendan Glasheen, welcome to the Sport Profile.
What's up, Dylan? How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Man, I'm so excited for this. For people who don't know you, what would you say is your 30-second elevator pitch? Because people see you all over the place. But who is Brendan Glasheen?
Who is Brendan Glasheen? Brendan Glasheen is a sports dork who wanted to play sports when he was young, didn't get to do it, and decided one day that talking into a baseball glove would one day turn into being a broadcaster. But I have I have passion for play-by-play. I've been very fortunate to have a path here in basketball and other sports, but basketball has been very good to me. And I have a passion for doing really good television. And I know that world has changed into streaming, and there's so many ways now to consume live sports content, but putting on a really good show. And I say show because we're in it for the games. We want to see great games, but just another guy who likes to be part of the sports landscape and enjoys it with a passion. And I'm very fortunate to do it the way I do it. But that's not, I guess, all about me. I guess that's too workish as an answer. But I'm kind of a smart aleck. But once you get to know me, I don't think I rub people the wrong way. But eventually people get sick of me, which is okay.
I feel the same about myself. I'm sure there's perceptions about me out there.
Yeah. Don't take myself too seriously, but I think that's a good thing. Because, I think that's just, it's a nice trait to have because, when you're in a room with people that you don't meet before, or you're meeting coaches and players and you're meeting other TV people you work with, you just want to be a fun, vibrant presence in the room. And I try my best to do that as a teammate and as a person. So,
yeah, of course. When you said that you were broadcasting games into a glove before,
it sounds weird,
I thought
right?
that it does. Well, listen, people have done more weird things to do broadcasting. I also read that you were somebody who turned off the volume of video games.
Yeah.
And broadcasted into that. First of all, what teams were you using? Because you can kind of control it a little bit. But
yeah, big Celtics guy. I'm from New England,
from
Boston.
And what was that like? What was a young Brendan Glasheen doing during those moments where you're muting a video game?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to be clear that when I was doing the baseball, I was in right field, so no one could really see or hear. I didn't think people picked up on it, but it was because I wasn't on the pitcher's mound. Okay,
you're probably not mic'd up in Little League.
No, but
I'm assuming
it was when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, and
Right.
I wasn't. I got better, I will say, but when I first started out in Little League, I couldn't hit. I couldnn't really do much. So what do? They stick you out and right, because most people, if I'm not mistaken, maybe this has changed. Most people are right-handed hitters, so the balls go into the left side more. So if you go to right field, ball doesn't go out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ball never comes to you. But
I was there too. Don't worry.
The video game thing, as I grew up becoming a fan of the local teams in Boston, so your Red Sox, because I was a baseball player, Celtics, Patriots, Bruins. You play those sports video games, and now it's amazing what the technology is now with how much they've excelled, the quality of the product. And I'm not a big video game guy much. I'll throw on the Xbox every once in a while when I have a free night just to mess around. It's one of those things where you just hear the same commentary over and over and over again, right? It's a computer generated voice. So if it's and I'm a big fan of the people that did them. I mean, if I had to go back and think, like Kevin Harlan is on the 2K game,
of course,
for example. But it was really just to put my own spin on it, right? It probably proves I played way too many. But when I play the franchise mode or the career mode, or if you're doing MLB The Show, and you're doing a season or whatever they call them now, franchise.
Sure.
So you're playing GM, making moves and whatnot, right? Building a team, or you're doing your create a player, but also from listening, right, and playing the game. It was just a way for me to think I hear the same lines in commentary all the time, why not put my own spin on it? I eventually figured out that there's a setting where you can just turn the commentator volume down and keep the effects, which is pretty cool. So you can still hear the crowd. If you're doing a baseball game or MLB The Show, you can still hear the nuance of a baseball
Okay.
environment. So that's kind of where that, and I've come to find out I wasn't the only one. Like Jason Benetti, I think has that same kind of
Mm,
story when he grew up wanting to be a sports broadcaster. So
right.
it made me, it actually kind of made me feel better about myself that I wasn't the only one who maybe has done this along the line. So
Yeah. No, that's very interesting. How did it make you feel as like a young broadcaster then? Like, did it give you more confidence that like, hey, you could do this? Like, I'm curious what benefit you felt that provided to you.
I think it was well, look, to get to that point, I loved watching like Mike Gorman call Celtics games, right?
Yeah.
He was the guy I grew up with, and I watched some pretty bad Celtics teams, but I loved listening to Mike and Tommy. And look, I'm very, as we know now, I'm very spoiled being from New England and the pro
Sure.
sports landscape, how it's changed. But
Yes.
even Gil Santos calling Patriots games for years. Your Don Orsillos, your Sean McDonoughs who called the Red Sox. So you gravitate to that 'cause you're like, oh, that's a pretty cool gig. But I've always just kind of, I think it did. It did give me confidence. I think is the right word because
Sure.
I had interest in it. Right, like that's the key. Curiosity and interest are how it kind of for anything you do.
Totally.
That's why you gravitate to things. But then pretty soon you realize, like, okay, if you want to really do this, calling it off a TV screen is not what we're looking for. So you have to eventually gain confidence to get outside of your bedroom and go do an internship or go to your hometown local TV station or local radio station. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up interning. It was really like a volunteer thing. I guess you'd technically now call it an internship, but I volunteered at my local hometown radio station in Lowell, Massachusetts at WCAP, and that's kind of how it turned into actually like, oh, like, okay, now you're in public. You're not in your bedroom. Like,
Yeah.
try
Not in
it
front of
out.
video game characters.
Yeah. You hear this all the time. It's about reps, reps, reps. But like now you got to
Yeah.
go out and actually do it. And that's what I
Right.
tell young broadcasters all the time that are interested in it. It's like, well, the only way you're going to find out is you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, which is get out there and try it out. And you're going to go back and listen to it and be your own worst critic. Whether it be a 5-minute, if you're up in the stands at a high school football game talking into a recorder or your iPhone, and you record, you might have limited notes because these high school, at least in Massachusetts, it's not as big as some other states. But when you don't have a whole lot of information, and I'm going back now, I was in high school in the 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Not as much, like my printer might have been out of ink or my printer wasn't giving me I didn't have an iPad with live stats or anything like
Sure.
that. So you're just kind of going
Oh,
off
you had live stats at the high school level?
I didn't. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't. You
Oh,
follow me?
I was
So like
gonna say if you did,
now I feel like that's a thing.
oh my god, if whoever
The
has that they got a luxury.
either printing out rosters or even just taking getting a notepad or a legal pad and writing down. And so when I would do the local high school stuff, I would do a lot of my hometown, my high school teams. I would just get out a legal pad and write, okay, get the quarterback right, get the running backs right, find the 2 or 3 receivers, get the kicker,
Mhm.
just guys that are going to have the ball or be around the ball or
Right.
around the puck, pick your sport.
Sure.
And that's how you start to try to figure it out and know what you're supposed to do. Or you think you know
Yeah,
what you're supposed to do, but you got to try it. You got to start somewhere.
for sure. All of that has led you to one of the most exciting leagues, the most exciting startup leagues in, kind of recent memory in Unrivaled. I'm very curious to know what you are most excited about for Unrivaled season 2.
Wow, a lot. It's a loaded question. 'Cause they got so much right.
There is a lot.
They got so much right with year one. The overarching theme behind the league started by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, as well
Yeah.
as Nafisa's husband, Alex Bazel, as the president, Luke Cooper
Mhm.
on the more on the basketball side, but so many people that I could rattle off. So I'll
Yeah.
end it there because I'll miss somebody. But the concept was, how can we showcase these outstanding women's basketball players in the United States while they're not playing in the summer, late spring, summer, and early fall during the W, but also give them an outlet to compete in the United States and really show their value.
Yeah.
And the Unrivaled League, you have the basketball, the league itself, the TV side, which I'm part of, but also just the overall experience. The idea being when the players would get down there, when the players left last March, could they get out of there and say, wow, I had the most amazing experience for 3 months in my offseason? And that could go from being Kate Martin, who had played 1 year in the WNBA, or that you could be Skylar Diggins, who had been in the league for 11 years. And
Right.
two very different. I'm just using two random players. One
For
who's like,
sure.
I'm used to the coverage being at Iowa and the TV coverage exploding at the college level for women's college
Mhm.
basketball. And then you have a player, and actually several Notre Dame players like your Skylers, like Jewel Lloyd, like Kayla McBride,
Yes.
that maybe didn't get the same kind of attention and coverage in their play from their college years. I'm just using Notre Dame as an example. Notre
Totally.
Dame is a really good program, but did they get the shine that they probably not necessarily deserve, but was it ever really uncovered? Was it ever really brought to people's attention? Like,
Right.
this didn't just become a thing. It did because of the TV coverage and the rise in ratings, the rise in eyeballs.
Right.
There's been really good players that have played women's basketball from the college level, high school, college level to the pros for 25 years, or now going on
Exactly.
29 years, when the W was founded in 97, and as long as college basketball has come onto the scene at the college level, women's college basketball. So,
Yeah.
but that's a
What
long way of answering your question of just like the appreciation I think the players felt and how they felt wanted. They felt they had a stage. I mean, Unrivaled also it's a sound stage, okay,
It
just outside
is.
of Miami. They felt like superstars. Like, they felt
Totally.
like stars, and that's the way the arena was built, that intimate setting, and just an opportunity to showcase themselves in America on national TV and really lift up the entire sport. And that's what I
Absolutely.
think I'm excited about for this second year. You hinted at a couple things. Two new teams. They're going to go away. They're going to go outside of their bubble, if you will, in Florida and go to
Mhm.
Philadelphia for a game night, but just continue to put more shine on how great these women are at what they do.
Yeah. I mean, the league itself is, like, valued to their recent, like, investment round. I think they're valued more than, like, some W teams right now. I mean, you said it before too, like, you were thinking that was like, adding the 2 new teams was, like, a year 3 kinda move. You're saying they're way ahead of schedule, which it seems like they are.
Yeah,
But
I think it got to a point where it's almost like they were declining, or not necessarily declining. The decisions became really hard to turn down some really, really good players.
really?
Well, I mean, by having six, if the women's college game continues to explode, and it's not just the rise in popularity, but it's the women that play college basketball that are
Totally.
going to college, and their goal when they go to college is not just to go play at South Carolina for Don Staley and have 4 great years and then say, okay, this was great. Maybe I'll make the WNBA. Maybe I'll make a team. I'll back it up. Maybe I get drafted. Maybe I'll crack a roster spot. Maybe I'll get playing time.
Well, with some new teams, you're gonna have a slightly increased chance
Yeah.
of that, but it's still gonna be tough.
Yeah. But the point being is just now more women are going to college with the idea of, I want to play in the WNBA, or I want to go
Right.
to Unrivaled because that looks cool and this can be my career. Like a legitimate career where I can, Unrivaled, for example, I can get equity in the league. I can do
Mhm.
this for a true living, support my family, whether that be on the intermediate level or on a larger level, and really do this and feel like I'm being valued properly to put my body, put my heart into this and do it right. So that's what this has done. Unrivaled is just another layer to what's already been created, and I think that's what's happening. So as you get more, never mind the fact that they're popular, but because of the TV numbers and the streaming
Totally.
numbers, but they're good. They're good. They're pro-made, pro-ready. There's more pro-ready players than ever in
Definitely.
women's basketball. Same with the men. Or same with the. But it's hard, right? When there's only,
Of course.
the W's adding 2 teams next year, but it's hard. But when you look at it before Golden State arrived, you the kind of one of the taglines was always like, in the WNBA with a 12-team league, you've got the 140-ish best players in the world.
Right.
'Cause it's 12, 11, 12 per depending on your salary cap, it was 11 to 12 players per team.
Yeah.
That's hard, and then
It's like near impossible.
of those 12, just like you watch in college, men's and women's college basketball, 7 or 8 play legitimate minutes each night.
Sure.
There's 1 ball, right? So, it's incredible what they've
Yeah,
accomplished. So, it's all good news. If there's more of anything,
definitely.
usually that's a good sign, so
Oh, for sure. You mentioned a lot about how Unrivaled made the players feel valued and everything
Mhm.
like that. And it is very clear, obviously, you know, with what they're doing. But for you personally as a broadcaster, getting to be and just a person, like getting to be a part of this new thing, how has it made you feel valued in your career to be like the one of the broadcasting faces of this new and exciting product?
Yeah, it's really opened my eyes about where this can all go, and the inspiration that a lot of these players have on young boys and girls that want to maybe be a professional or just be a fan. The W for years has been such a socially a very it's moved people socially very much so, and I think that's
Definitely.
good. So there's a responsibility to lift them up properly, and I've done the Connecticut Sun now for 5 years, but what I've done a lot of other sports, a lot of other leagues, and my 10,000-foot view on it is like, all right, like it's a again, I keep saying this, but it was a 12-team league before Golden State arrived last year, but
Yeah,
now we're at 13. Even at 13, you gotta rise the level for everybody. So when we do a Sun game and we've got Nafisa Collier and the Lynx coming into town, or you've got Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu coming into town, make it so that and plus there's a lot of with my job at the Sun, there's a lot of former UConn players that come back to town.
totally.
You just really it allows you to lift everybody up and understand like, hey, we got a major star coming into town, and we got a chance to watch the Sun give this team a ride, and that's and Unrivaled. It kind of prepped me for Unrivaled because there's stars on the
Sure.
floor every night, and but that 3-on-3 kind of setting, where there's only 6 players on the court at a time in a condensed court, a condensed time, an untimed fourth quarter with a winning score. Um,
Mhm.
and then working with people. I think the other thing that really kind of brought this home, to answer your question, was working with Lisa Leslie, who is a a legend,
Yeah.
very sweet person, welcomed me with open arms the minute I got there. Never had met Lisa, didn't know what to expect, and I don't mean that negatively or positively. I just didn't know. I never met her before.
Yeah.
She's also a legend, right? I've worked with Cheryl Swoops before at Athletes Unlimited, and they're getting a platform now to really give their mindset, and I'm talking about the TV part now, just to
For
understand,
sure.
take me inside what you're thinking, where the league's going, where the product, not the league, but the product of women's basketball, where it's going.
Yes.
So you have to be a part of something new, but also uh, part of the growth of what the sport has become. It's been amazing what it started as for me in 2021, getting the job with the Sun and seeing where it is now. Incredible with the growth of the sport and the growth of the product. So each year it just keeps getting better. So
Yeah.
that's been really cool from my chair, as I didn't expect that. In 21, when I got the job, I had
That's
worked
so interesting.
when I got the job with the Sun, I was actually calling lacrosse games at Mohegan
Yeah, I
Sun
heard.
Arena, and the president, or I think she was technically VP, whoever, she was my boss. She now works for the Fever, Amber Cox.
Yeah.
And I'd always say to Amber, I'd say, hey, like, I know you've got someone doing the games with the Sun, but like, if you ever need someone, I love basketball. I've done plenty of basketball. I've done women's college basketball, men's college basketball at the local level in New England. If you ever need someone to hop in, you to fill in, like, I'm happy to help. And they ended up having a need after the COVID bubble year in Bradenton. They had a need, and I interviewed for the job. And I had known so many people within the organization that had worked in marketing, tickets, social media, with the lacrosse team, that I had already kind of known those people. They just like, oh, we worked with Brendan. He would do well, and it worked out. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
love I love how those things happen. It's
it's
just
weird, and that's our business.
it is weird.
It's not linear. It's not. It's a maze, and everybody's maze and path is different. It is.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that from a lot of folks just, that I've spoken to on here and, throughout my own personal career. I mean, talk about things not being linear. I got laid off from my first professional job 6 months after I started it. I
Okay.
didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But what would you say, kind of going off that a little bit, what advice would you give your younger self? That Syracuse student who, or even going back further, that player out in right field. What
Ah,
what advice would you say to yourself, about broadcasting that now and obviously didn't before?
um, I would say it's never not it's okay to be very curious. And what I mean by that
Interesting.
is take risks in the sense that you're going to email people, whether it be your interest in a job opportunity or an internship, and you got to walk that line of bugging people, telling them, "Hey, I'm me. I would like to do this," but remain curious. And that doesn't mean necessarily on the air, but if you're in college and you go, I don't care what college you go to in the country. Syracuse is great. We have a great pipeline of amazing
Of course.
broadcasters that have gone on to done amazing things. But you could
Absolutely.
really, the way the world of broadcasting has changed with streaming at any level, Division One, Division Two, Division Three, you can go to any school in the country now, and there is a webcast, there is a streaming platform, there's student radio stations or student
Mhm.
streaming where you can go and call every Olympic sports or your big sports like your football and your basketball or baseball, softball, whatever it may be, and just
Yeah.
remain curious. Like go stop by the TV truck and introduce yourself to people. Try to build relationships with players and coaches and express your interest in what you like. I think maybe I was a little tentative about that. Like I did what I
Okay.
was supposed to do when I was in college. I did the student radio stuff and but I kind of just did what I was supposed to do. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but
It does, yeah.
I didn't probably overextend. I wish I could have. Like I wish I did more. Even the internships I had when I worked in the Cape Cod Baseball League. I showed up to the ballpark every day, and I went and interviewed the manager and interviewed a player, but I probably didn't I didn't probably do a great job of meeting more people.
Hmm.
I met broadcasters from other teams, but those are people you never know you're going to run into down the road.
Totally.
And some of that's worked out fine. I just think there's just always more there, and that starts with curiosity and being interested. Um,
Hmm.
and that's like I used the example earlier about you try to figure this out. Well, go to a game with a recorder or your phone, and if say you don't even have to do play by play if you want to be a reporter. These iPhone or whatever phone, the cameras on these things are amazing now. Like you could
Yes.
easily plug in a lav mic and do a live report talking to a camera. That's how you learn. You go back and watch it. Oh, I'm
Right.
slumping or I'm slouching. I'm not smiling enough. Like you gotta um, just be more curious. So you got to be your own worst critic, but
Sure.
be critical of yourself, which is not a bad thing. You got to give yourself some grace, but just
Absolutely.
be more curious. Come out of your shell a little bit,
Yeah.
and you got to be yourself. And I know that gets thrown out there a lot. No matter what industry, be yourself. But you might not know who
Yes.
yourself is when you're in college. Like that took a
Totally.
while for me to feel really comfortable on the air. Like I could technically call a basketball game, but I want people to be able to go on the air and hear the game and go, "Oh, it's a Brendan Glasheen game with whoever he's working with."
Mm.
And they're going to know when he's on, he's going to make whoever he's working with, whether it's the color commentator, the reporter, or even the person that's working in the truck that doesn't get enough attention, the graphics guy, the
Oh
audio
my god.
guy, the
Amazing
producer,
folks.
the director that put the whole thing on. And that's when you asked me about what people should know about myself, my elevator pitch. I want to be the best teammate. And the
Yeah,
play-by-play role is like you got to play point guard. You're the floor general. You have to be on your game as it pertains to your energy. And you got to
definitely.
call the game. You got to call the game technically well, but you be the best facilitator. And it doesn't start and end with someone in my role, but you play a big role in setting the tone.
No, 100%.
And I take a lot of pride in that. If I don't come ready to go, then I think it makes everybody, and it really goes for any role. If you don't come ready to play or ready, it's like the same mindset as an athlete. If
Yeah.
I don't come with the right mindset, I could let my team down and it could make the product suffer.
Oh, 100%.
That's something I care about a lot.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's probably foreshadowing my final question, but something I've always admired about you too. First of all, your style's impeccable. Our mutual friend Griffin Della Penna has
Okay.
described it as such, and I am curious for you how you describe your style and your suit game specifically heading into game day. And going off that, did you ever hear that Steve Harvey clip about having like 5 different he's like, every man needs to have 5 different suits. And I forget the combinations. It's like a blue, a cream, black, gray, something else. After this, you can make 75 different suits because every last one of them jackets goes with every last one of them pants. You cannot mess up.
Mm.
Did you hear about that at all? Or am I the first
No,
one telling it to you? No?
no, but I believe
I'll
you.
send that to you. It's funny. Um, because knowing your suit game, you'll be like, oh my God, I actually did this.
See, I
How
don't
would you
even think
describe
it's
your
that
suit
great, and
game?
that's no knock.
You
Like
don't think so?
I've had family. Well, like I get stressed out about the outfit thing. Because
Do you?
yeah, because I just, I'm not, my wife helps me pick out the tie in the right
Sure.
combination. This shade doesn't work with that one. And you can't wear those shoes with those pants. Um, Craig Sager, to me, when he did he did
Oh,
TNT, I was like,
he
that
is
guy,
a league of his
flashy.
own.
Yeah. No one's ever going to meet that standard.
No, never, never.
But yeah. As far as so you say style, I don't think I have a whole lot of style. I really don't. I watch other broadcasters that have. I've been better, I guess. My dad actually got me, I forget where he found it. He got me 47 pocket squares. 40
47?
a pack of 47 pocket squares. I think he may have found them on eBay,
Why?
which kind of worries me if my dad's poking around on eBay a lot.
Yeah, I'd be worried about if my
I don't
dad
want
did
him to
that
get
too.
scammed. But
That's very
well,
valid.
here's the other thing too is like you got to just it's one of those things where you say to yourself, all right, you look good, you play good, kind of thing.
Totally.
That stuff's important though. Like you
Absolutely.
got to come presentable. And by the way, women have it way harder, right? Their makeup takes
Yes.
multiple hours.
Oh, yeah.
I know analysts I've worked with, reporters, fellow women that do play-by-play, they have these like suit or they have these dress rental companies that they go through and they'll rotate
Sure.
through like every 30 days. They'll get a new package of or not package, but they'll get a new combination of dresses or blazers that they might wear. Yeah, I just think it's like I want to be able to show up. The funniest part about it is like when you're on camera, you're only on camera in total for like 2 minutes. Most cases as a play-by-play, you're doing the open.
Yeah.
You might pop back on at halftime to go through some highlights and stats. Maybe at the end of the game for a post game, they might cut over to us, and our TV crew with the Sun does a great job because we'll really involve ourselves with the sideline reporter and try to
Totally.
really create a 3-way conversation instead of just being us two at the booth, then the sideline. We really try to, at least when I work with Tarika with the Sun, or even when
Yeah.
Unrivaled was such a collaborative three-person on-air team because whether it was Taylor Rooks or Allie LaForce or Stephanie Reddy, we were going, or Roz, we would go to the sideline quite a bit, but try to create, it's a conversation. You're watching a sports game.
Totally.
Make it collaborative, make it fun, play off of what they're saying. I go into each game knowing what their hit's going to be, so I try to keep my commentary in a lane where I can properly set them up or properly tease what they're going to say. So when you say style, I'm talking about my style to try to go about the broadcast.
Yeah.
That's very nice of Griffin to say that, but yeah, the dress thing. And here's like, this is going to sound silly, but it's not like I try. We're not perfect, but I try to like
Of
keep
course.
a consistent physique. So I still got jackets from like 5 years ago.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
like,
Yeah. My dad has jackets from 30 years ago.
Yeah, those things are expensive, man. So you gotta like,
They're also dusty.
the button's getting a little tight. You try to dial it back.
Yeah.
I go to tailor shops and the dry cleaner a lot.
Mhm.
I
I
write
gotta do
those
that
off in my
too.
taxes.
Yep.
But
That's there you go. That's a good
yeah,
that's one loophole.
yeah, kinda. It's still everything just costs so much, but it's all about
I mean, yeah.
the end goal. It comes back to just being presentable, and you got to be comfortable. Now it's like you can get away with
Totally.
so much. Like I know I've dabbled in the sneaker game. When you work in basketball, now you wear the
Yes.
sneakers with the suits, and people think it gets a little out of control. But as long as it's a nice clean pair that matches
Yeah.
well,
My good
it's
friend
funny,
Kareem
right?
Copeland has said that he has eliminated the dress shoe in his rotation.
Yeah. Well, think about it, right? Like one thing that in COVID changed a lot for everything, right? But when I
Absolutely.
watch like now the NBA coaches, they don't wear suits. They wear the
Yes.
jumpsuits.
Yeah.
College coaches too. If you were the head coach, if you're John Calipari, okay, or Coach K, I went to Syracuse, Jim Boeheim, they're
Mhm.
in a gray suit with a tie and dress shoes, and then maybe some of the assistant coaches with the clipboards and the iPads. They were sitting
Yes.
next to him. Now it's quarter zips, nice blue sweats with these
Oh, that
beautiful
reminds me of
Nikes or
something.
whatever shoe deal the school had. I think it's just a reminder though. And by the way, like I like wearing a suit to a game. I feel right.
Totally.
I work out. I try to work out every game day. Try to get 30 minutes of cardio. When you put
There
it
you
on, you
go.
feel good. You feel ready to go. You feel like you're
You
at
better
work.
believe it.
But the overall, like the point though, is like it's not that serious. Like we're
Oh, it's
watching.
not.
It's a basketball game. Like there are
Yeah.
stakes when we watch a game. When you're a fan of a team, or you follow a team, or you put on a random standalone football game. I think Joe Buck and Aikman do a great. They'll be on tonight. Like they're
Yeah.
like, hey, come on in. We're going to welcome, please, thank you for welcoming us into your living room or wherever you may be watching. For the next 3.5 hours, we're going to have a good time. We're going to document the game, document the action, and come along for the ride. That's the vibe you're going for. Now, you want to be on your stuff, right? And make sure you still capture that this is important to you, which
Oh, of
that's
course.
important, but also like, hey, we're here to have a good time. We're
Yeah,
not,
it ain't that deep.
Bill Belichick used to say, like, we're not mining coal. Okay, he's coaching football. The players are
True.
playing football, or whatever
I mean, some
sport, right?
I mean,
So,
some would say Belichick needs to get back to coaching football.
yeah, that's tough.
So, I
Anyways,
what you were saying about like the coaches before reminded me something I saw on Twitter today. It was a picture of Gino Auriemma's outfit, and they were like, you could tell it's an exhibition game when this is what Gino's got on. It was just like a red. It was just like a red shirt because he's somebody who's always in. He's buttoned up, very dressed to the nines every game.
mm-hmm,
But they were like, you could tell it's an exhibition when this is what Gino's got on.
yeah. And
So
Gino has a famous rant from a few years ago about body language. And
yes,
he uses that point about his teams. Like it's great advice for anybody. Like if you're coming to work, and that's why you learn when you play for like a great coach like Gino, you learn how to be a better. I know sometimes Gino can rub people the wrong way, and he can be tactful in his press conferences and how he might call out his team, and he can do that when he's been around as long as he has. There's always a reason behind it to try and
and of course, as successful as he has been.
yeah. But I think he's trying to teach the young women in his program, and I'm just using Gino as an example here. Like, I'm trying to mold you into being a better teammate in life and not just
100%.
as a basketball player. I want you to go on and have a great career, whether that's in the pros, whether it's overseas, the W, Unrivaled, pick one. But I want people to know, like, oh, this one played at UConn, and they know how to be a pro. Right. And I think
Definitely.
that's kind of the same idea when we do the TV thing. You want to command a level of respect from people that you do your job, you take it seriously, but you want to do your job well. And then when you do your due diligence, you go to shoot around, you go to practice, you go have media availability. Then when you put the headset on and you're with your team, you're at the TV truck, and you're like, okay, it's time to go ahead and do our thing, and let's put on a great a great, informative, fun product. So
No, 100%. Yeah.
that's what we're
So
hoping.
Brendan,
That's what I'm looking forward to most. Also about Unrivaled is we
absolutely.
set a standard, and I'm grateful that people accepted me. They accepted Lisa. They accepted Sarah Kustok, and those two have been doing this way longer than I have. Lisa as a former
Sure.
player, she was a former Big Three coach. She has done tons of media coverage. Sarah's been doing it with the Nets forever, and her career is blossoming.
Mm-hmm.
All well and good, and I really mean that. But it's like, okay, like we did year one, and same with the players, same with Collier and Stewart.
Yeah.
Year one was great. Startups are hard. Startups are hard to get off the
Extremely.
ground. You set a standard. How do you elevate it? How do you take it to another level? Right. So
Yeah,
that'll be
totally.
a challenge. That'll be a challenge. You want to make sure we're not stale. I think people know what the product is now.
Mm-hmm.
But when someone flips the TV on and they flip over to HBO Max or TNT, I don't want them to leave, right? Like I want
Right.
them to be dialed in. I don't care what the score is. Can you be compelling, interesting, and have fun with what you're doing?
Yeah,
That's the challenge in our business.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think in any medium too. Brendan, one question I do end every episode with, and
Okay.
you might have alluded to it earlier, which is why I'm very interested in your answer. Just professionalism aside, unrivaled broadcasting aside, like just you as a person,
Hmm.
Brendan Glasheen, what's something you like most or admire about yourself?
Ha. God, this is deep. I feel like I'm in therapy.
You're not the first person to say that.
What do I like about myself? I don't know. I try to be a helping hand, a friendly presence. I mentioned this earlier. I try not to take myself too seriously.
Totally.
Can I make somebody laugh? Can I make someone smile? Can I make someone feel at home? I think I do a decent job with that with my friend group, with my family. Family's hard, you can't pick your family.
Always.
Family's tough, right? But
Oh yeah.
you got to know how to you got to know your people. No, as they say, as the basketball coaches might say, or you might hear basketball analysts say, KYP. Know your personnel. You got to know your personnel.
Oh yes.
Right.
I've heard
So,
that
uh,
so many times.
but like, remind yourself, hey, you might think a certain way about something as it pertains to how we want to do this open, or how we want to do how someone views their particular their takes on basketball, or how Unrivaled is doing whatever. Pick whatever. It's like, okay, try to be that person that can go, okay, I see what you're saying there, and just create that dialogue and just be accepting of people. I think I like to think I like that about myself. I try not to be too like judgmental. I try to be open-minded with how people think, but also make people feel comfortable no matter who they are and whatever setting they might be in. And if I like know them really well, I'll rag on them a bit, like I can't
Of
help
course.
myself, but just try to be it's simple. Just treat people the way you'd want to be treated. Period. Story over, right? That's the
Absolutely.
idea. I try, and we're not
Yeah, man.
perfect, but that's how I like to go about my business, whether it's work or not. So
Yeah. No, I love that. I appreciate you coming on and making the time. I'm super excited for Unrivaled season 2 starting in January, and very much excited to see how you continue to flourish throughout the college season and Unrivaled.
you
So
coming to
thanks for
you
coming
going to
on.
Miami or Philly? What's going on?
I mean, when they come to Philly, it'll definitely be closer to me. So
Okay, all
I
right.
I will
A lot of
definitely,
seats there at Xfinity, so
yes, I will more than likely be making a trip to Philly. And I mean, hey, if Unrivaled want to sponsor an episode of Sport Profile, they always welcome.
that is
Just
above
saying.
my pay grade. That is
Just
above my pay
saying.
grade.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Just saying. But I'm very excited. So thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Thank you very much.